can clear this up. When you were playing or training, or were you playing in Como? Were you actually playing?
Training, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember I tried to claim credit for this, but I don't know if it's wrong. But I was at a press conference with Mikel, and I can't remember what the subject was. I said they were talking about new signings. I said, look, Jack Wilshere's training out in Italy. I mean, why the hell is he not here? And Mikel go, yeah, we're aware of that.
That's thanks to you.
Well, I think it is, but you might already have been speaking to him. I don't know.
Nick from Haters.
Hi there, Mikel. Good to see you again. Can you have this quick word on Jack Wilshere, who's been training out in Italy, unable to get a club? What's your thoughts on his situation? And would there ever be a chance of him training with you guys again?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
I was just talking about Jack Wilshere.
Jack Wilshere.
He's unable to get a club. He's training out in Italy. Just your thoughts on his situation. And would there ever be a scenario where he was training with Arsenal again?
Someone that I know, that I share dressing room, someone is so loved around the club with every person here. And our doors are always open.
Tell me.
I can't remember how it happened. Remember I went in to see Mikel and he was brilliant. I can't remember who reached out to him. I think Kate actually. Was it you, Mark? Just take responsibility.
But everyone was so excited when you came back, even at the time. Yeah. What was that like?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Like for my confidence as well. Because I was in a bad place, but I was in a difficult place where I didn't know what I was going to do, and then to go back there, and even then when I went back I didn't know what would happen. Like, would I be with the 21s? And I trained with the 21s a bit, but the majority of the time I was with the first team, and yeah, it done my confidence a world of good and inspired me to become a coach as well, so I'm very thankful.
Yeah, because I think Mikel was saying some very complimentary things about the way you were training, not just your attitude but the way you were still playing. Was there part of you still thinking could get a deal here?
No, not really. Because you know what, that was for me. Like that was probably where the swing happened, where I enjoyed the coaching more. And then obviously I went on to play in Denmark for 6 months or so, and I loved it there. I loved my time there. Beautiful place, beautiful people. But I knew once I'd done that probably was going to become a coach. I spoke to you at the Emirates that time, didn't I? You were there. Were you there? Yeah, you were. I remember.
So what was it? So I mean, you played with Mikel. There's some great footage of you two celebrating the FA Cup. What do you think of Tottenham and all that? And he's singing away together.
Yeah.
What do we think of Tottenham? Shit! What do we think of shit? Tottenham! Thank you! That's all right! One more! It's happened again! It's happened again! Tottenham Hotspur! It's happened again! It's happened again! Tottenham Hotspur! It's happened again!
I mean, he's a sort of different sort of personality to the lot. He's always manager Mick, or whatever you called him then.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say he's different now. He was always like that. He was very intense as a player. He demanded from us that we were at it in training. And he's taken that into his managerial career. Very intense, very a deep thinker. Would think about the game. Talk to the manager a lot. Would talk to us as well, like his fellow midfielders, a lot, and tell us what he wants from us and how he sees things. Just a real intelligent football brain.
Did you notice any difference when you came back to the club under his sort of management compared to when you left it? So,
around the club, not really. I mean, there was a big picture of Arsenal when I walked in, which was nice. So like, it had the same feel around the club and the same people around, staff members. I mean, they're at Colney all the time. But there was a big change in training, like the intensity and the standards that Mikel demands blew me away a little bit, really. I had experienced managers who like to set the bar high and make sure standards were high, the intensity when the training was high, but Mikel took it to another level.
And does that translate into the way you are as a coach now?
Yeah, definitely. Because like how I see it, and I don't know if Mikel sees it like this, but I see like we come up with all these concepts and these theories on football. You're going to play a 4-3-3 and he's going to do that. But if you don't have that intensity and that passion to play and the energy, you bring the energy to the pitch, then you might as well just give up there, because you're not going to win a game with just tactics. It's so much more than that.
And do you think that's why the results are being quite so favourable halfway through the season?
Yeah, and what Mikel's done with the whole fan base, so then you talk about energy of the players on the pitch, but if you can then get everyone on board with the energy from the fans and the owners and the board and everyone around the club believing it, then it just translates to the pitch.
Yeah. And you can feel it actually at events like tonight and all this signage that's going, artwork that's going up around the stadium. There's a real sort of sense of unity about the club again, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. I've said it before, and a lot of people said, it's results based. It was last season I said it when we went on that good run, we nearly got fourth. And people were saying, it's just results based. When you're winning, it's easy. But it definitely feels like there's a massive turnaround at the club, and like you said, the word unity, everyone together, from academy to first team to staff at Colney to staff at the stadium, and it's a real good place to be.
And so, what's life like as a coach?
It's different.
Do you enjoy? You get this sort of different sort of fulfilment, is it?
Yeah. I really enjoy the coaching and helping the players and just watching players and seeing what they need and seeing what I can help. I've got a really good staff around me. Obviously, I'm an inexperienced coach, and I think it's important for me that I had that staff around me, and they've been brilliant. So I'm learning all the time. But yeah, I love the coaching side, and the other side of managing people, managing staff, I enjoy. I wasn't very good at it at the start. I've seen myself getting a lot better at it. I still need to get better at it, but yeah, it's a different world. And
is that from experience, or learning by your mistakes, or learning from other people, or how does it work?
I think a bit of both. Experience, learning from mistakes, talking to people about how they do it, seeing what they see. I've always been good with people, like a people person who I could talk to anyone and have a conversation. I think that's the most important thing, is getting to know the person and then seeing how they work. But that takes time as well, right? That's not just gonna happen overnight. So we're getting there.
Yeah, I know it's a bit not tight for time, but just a few more thoughts on how you think this season is going, and how it might sort of play out. Obviously, a huge game this Sunday against Tottenham as well.
Yeah, the season has been really good so far. I think last season was really good. And I think people just remember the Newcastle and Tottenham games. We missed out on the top four. But if you look at the results and the performances, I think that's the biggest thing, the performance. If you look at that and the way that's turned, and now you're starting to see the results more consistently. Just forget about being in the club, but as a fan watching the team, I love it. I love watching the team. I think the way they play is so exciting. They play forward, they run forward, they have a structure, the way they press and win the ball back high. It reminds me a little bit of the old Arsenal teams that used to win the ball back so high on a press and then just hurt teams. So far it's been really good. It's a big game Sunday, and I've heard Mikel say a lot, and this is how I see it as well. You just have to take each game as it comes at this point. Obviously, we're in a really good position, but the league is so tough, so demanding week in, week out, no matter who you're playing against. As you see over the last sort of few games since the World Cup, teams are picking up results. A lot of the big teams had players at the World Cup. Some of the smaller teams didn't. Maybe that you might see that towards the end of the season. But listen, let's take every game as it comes, and most importantly, let's beat Tottenham on Sunday.
Do you get to go to a lot of the games?
Yeah, I do. Go to a lot of the home games. I won't be going to White Hart Lane, or whatever it's called now. What's it called now?
What, Tottenham Stadium?
Tottenham, I won't be going.
Busy.
Don't think they'll let me in.
Jack, you're very kind. Thank you very much.